So a question for you. When a friend or loved one opens up about a problem in their lives, do you know how to respond appropriately? Can you tell if they are looking for solutions or support? I guess that's 3 questions. The book, Super Communicators, explains how to navigate challenging conversations by asking, do you want to be helped, hugged, or heard? The author is joining us right now, Charles Duhigg. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so first explain the difference to me between helping someone and hearing them or hugging them.
Well, what we've learned about communication, particularly in the last 10 years, is that most of our discussions are one of 3 kinds of conversations. There's practical conversations where we're solving problems. There's emotional conversations where we're sharing how we feel. And I don't want you to solve my feelings. I want you to empathize. And then there's social conversations. And these are the helped, hugged, and heard. Right? When I come to you and I say, look, do you want to be helped? Or if you say I want to be helped, then I know that we want a practical discussion. We're going to make a plan. We're going to solve this problem. But if you're feeling emotional, you just want me to hug you. Or if you want to talk about how we relate to other people and the social identities that are important to us, that might be, in fact, just hearing. And so understanding what kind of conversation is happening is critical to actually being able to connect with each other.
And when you have, Charles, someone who comes to you with a problem, how do you know if they want to be whatever it is? Is it bad to offer someone advice that they never asked for?
Well, I do this with my wife all the time. I give her advice that she doesn't ask for, and she doesn't seem to appreciate it very much. So I think in general, when we're having a conversation, we want to know that someone is listening to us, and they show that they're listening by showing that they understand what we need. And sometimes we can just ask. If I'm having a tough day at work, my wife might ask, look, do you want me to help you solve this problem? Or do you just need to vent, get this off your chest? And the more we do that with our kids and our coworkers, the more we figure out what we want to talk about before we open our mouth, the better those conversations are going to go.
Isn't there a difference in the sexes, though, in how you approach this?
Actually, it's interesting. The research says no.
Okay.
So there are definite differences in society in how we listen to women and men. If a man cries at work, it's seen as a sign of leadership. If a woman cries at work, it's seen as a sign of over-emotionality. But what we've learned is that men and women in roughly equal proportion crave these 3 types of conversations. Now, that being said, sometimes we fall into social habits, right? The reason I keep on trying to solve my wife's problems is because I've become used to my habit of solving problems. But when we look at how people communicate, there is not a real difference in how we communicate based on gender or really anything else.
And if a partner is always like trying to fix your problems and you just want them to listen and validate, what's the best way to say that?
I think exactly what you just said.
Okay.
Sometimes we just don't know. Before 10 years ago, we didn't know about these 3 kinds of conversations. And I think sometimes just saying, look, I think we're having different conversations right now. Let's focus on feelings and exploring how we can empathize with each other before we solve this problem together. Sometimes that's all it takes.
I guess so. Just listen. Well, Charles, you know what? All it takes, I could listen to you read a phone book with those smooth tones. I really appreciate it. He's got that NPR voice going there. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Thanks
for more
for having me
information,
on.
or if you would like to purchase Super Communicator, you can visit Charles's website. The information there on your screen. We'll be right back.